In Sanatan Dharma, Lord Shiva is worshipped as the first or the primordial man. Besides, in the initial section of the Shiva Purana, Shiva has been considered the creator, maintainer and destroyer of the entire universe. Well, we worship Shiva as a recluse and God but don't look into his other aspects. According to Shiva Purana, Shiva is also a true lover and a devotee. Let us consider all the aspects of Shiva as per the glory of Shiva described in Shiva Purana Granth. The Shiva Purana composed by sage Ved Vyas is a great book describing the devotion and glory of Shiva. There are 7 parts in Shiva Mahapuran, in which various forms of Mahadev are described. Who are you Shiva from the stories of Shiva Purana by Ved Vyas? Or what is Shiva? You can know the answer to questions like these. We can use the teachings of Shiva Purana to improve our life and fill it with good qualities and live happily. Shiv Mahapuran serves to reveal to us the mysteries of Mahadev, whose answers can change the way we see and live our lives. According to Shiva Purana, when you know about Shiva, you will find your own spiritual knowledge smaller. According to Shiva Purana, the worship method of Lord Shiva and his mantras work to bring us closer to the Lord. There is also a mention of stories related to the supreme devotees of Lord Shiva in the Mahashiv Purana. Overall, through Shiva Purana we can see that form of Lord Shiva which is unseen or untold for us till date. Who is Shiva according to Shiva Purana? This verse from the Briharma Purana will help us to understand the original form of Shiva. Hariharyo, Prakritireka Pratyabhedin Rupbhedojam. Ekasyev Natsyanek Vidhe Bhed Bhedat. According to the above verse, there is basically no difference between Hari and Hara. The only difference is in their form. Just as an actor assumes different forms in a play, but in reality he/she remains who he/she is. This gives us an idea of the vastness of Shiva. According to Mahashiv Puran, various things like Yajna, the time cycles of past, present, future and the entire world is created by the game of Lord Shiva, and he is seated in the midst of his creation. According to Shiva Purana, Shiva or Maheshwar is the creator of Maya. That is, the Supreme Lord Shiva is beyond everything. He is immaculate, omniscient, above the 3 modes of nature and the ultimate Supreme Brahman. He is unborn and he is the origin of all. He is worthy of all the praise and is the guardian of his subjects, the God of the gods and worshipped by the entire world. According to Shiva Purana, Shiva is the sustainer and destroyer of the universe. He is the Saguna Nirguna and the Nirvikar Parabrahman Paramatma in the form of true and divine nature. According to Shiv Puran, Shiva himself tells Lord Vishnu, O Vishnu, I am the source of creation, protection and destruction of the universe. I am the cosmic work divided into Trimurti, and I am present in 3 forms and hold together Brahma and Vishnu. Shiva is anywhere and everywhere, so there is no point in asking who is Shiva or what is Shiva. All this is just the result of limited thinking of our narrow thoughts. Shiva has just taken a form to be accessible to humans. Indeed, Shiva is omnipresent, omniscient and omnipotent. Presently, some conflicts are taking place regarding the parts of Sanjoy Shiv Purana, the literature of Sanatan Kal Shiva Bhakti. The parts of Shiva Purana are known as Sanhitas. According to one opinion, There are 6 chapters in Shiva Purana, which are Vidyeshwara Sanhita, Rudra Sanhita, Shatrudra Sanhita, Kotirudra Sanhita, Uma Sanhita and Kailash Sanhita. In another opinion, Shiva Purana is composed of 7 chapters. This view mentions the additional chapter of Vayu Sanhita. There is a third opinion, which states there are 8 chapters in Shiva Purana. However, in all the various opinions, the order of the first 6 chapters remains the same. Let us know about the various chapters or sections of Shiv Purana. Shiv Purana Chapter 1 is known as Vidyeshwara Sanhita. In the Vidyeshwar Sanhita, the rules of reading the Shiva Purana, the rules of Shiva worship, the rules of Shivratri fasting and the rules of worshipping Shiva Linga, including the rules for wearing Rudraksh and the charity related to Shiva and their importance are found. It is stated in this chapter that Sutji is contemplating religion with the sages at Prayag. Apart from this, the main parts of Vidyeshwara Sanhita are as follows. Introduction to Shiv Puran. Thoughts in the means, meditation on the subjects like the month of Savan, Shiva Bhajan and attainment of Shiva through yoga. Worship method, mystery and importance of Shiva Linga and the corporeal form of Shiva. Significance of Panchakshar Mantra Om Namah Shivaya. How to establish Shiva Linga, how to worship Shiva with Vedic mantras. Such subjects have been told in Chapter 1 of Shiv Puran Vidyeshwar Sanhit. The second chapter of Mahashiv Puran, Rudra Sanhita has a total of 5 sections. These include Shrishti Khand, Sati Khand, Parvati Khand, Kumar Khand and Yudh Khand. Chapter 3 of the Shiva Purana is known as the Sharudra Samhita. Various forms of Lord Shiva and their in-depth description are found in the Shatrudra Sanhita. In this Sanhita, Shiva is described in all those incarnations, wherein he has worked for the salvation of the world. There are descriptions of 5 incarnations of Shiva, namely Sagejat, Vamdeva, Tatpurush, Agor and Ishan. It also contains information about Shiva's Ardhanarishwar form in much detail. It contains the story about the birth of Nandi and his marriage to Abhishek. The description of the 11 Rudra incarnations of Shiva including the Mahakal incarnation of Shiva is also seen in the Shatrudra Samhita of Shiva Purana. Chapter 4 of Shiv Puran is known as Kotirudra Samhita. In Kotirudra Samhita, the importance of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Shiva and complete information related to their worship method is found. The information about how the 12 Jyotirlingas originated, with the meanings of the 12 Jyotirlinga stotrams, the verses of 12 Jyotirlinga, etc. are obtained only from the Kotirudra Samhita. The story of Kashi Vishwanath, the origin of Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirlinga, the origin of Kashi, the mantra of Kashi Vishwanath, the secrets of Kashi Vishwanath are found in the Kotirudra Samhita. Information like the story of Mallikarjun Jyotirlinga, the meaning of Mallikarjun and how to worship Mallikarjun Jyotirlinga is also found in the Kotirudra Samhita part of Shiv Puran. The story of Mahakal Jyotirlinga, the meaning of Mahakal Jyotirlinga, the story of the birth of Mahakal is also mentioned in the Shiva Purana of Dev Vyas. The story related to the origin of all other Dwadash Jyotirlingas including Kedarnath Jyotirlinga, Bhimashankar Jyotirlinga, Triambakeshwar Jyotirlinga, Okareshwar Jyotirlinga, Rameshwar Jyotirling, Ghushmeshwar Jyotirling, Nageshwar Jyotirling and Vaidyanath Jyotirlinga is also available to us from Kotirudra Sanhita. We can also find the mention of the story of Vishnu getting Sudarshan Chakra by worshipping Lord Shankar. In the Kotirudra Samhita, information about the sources, methods and benefits of Shiva Sahasranama read by Lord Vishnu for Shiva worship is also found. It also entitles the information about fasts and mantras to please Lord Shiva. Additionally, the method of Shivratri fast and the glory of Shivratri are also mentioned in the Kotirudra Samhita. Samhita gives information about the fruits of devotion and worship of Lord Shiva. The chapter 5 of Shiva Purana Umasmhita and 108 Lord Shiva names gives answers to questions related to sin and virtue. The detailed tale about the appearance of Mother Uma and the slaughter of Shumbha Nishumbh is also available from Shiva Purana. Moreover, how should a person perform actions to attain heaven and all the measures related to charity, virtue, these various details are from Umasmhita. Umasmhita also mentions measures to remove sins and repentance of mistakes. The knowledge of all the four measurable practices for attaining immortality by conquering death, such as pranayam, meditation of fire in the middle of the brow, breathing through the mouth and touching the bell of the tongue with a twisted tongue, is also obtained from the Shiva Purana. Not just limited to this, the story related to goddess Uma, Mahalakshmi, Saraswati and Kali incarnation is also found in the 5th chapter of Shiva Purana in Hindi literature. In Kailash Sanhita, we get information about various rules of Shiva Bhakti. Before imbibing this passion and getting absorbed in the devotion of Shiva, you get the knowledge of the rules to worship Shiva from the Kailash Sanhita. Herein, information about the classical method of taking sannyas is also found. Kailash Sanhita also mentions worship of Ganpati, element purification, worship about Savitri, etc. Vayu Sanhita is the last part of Shiva Purana, but Vayu Sanhita has 2 sections. Shiva Purana Chapter 7 Vayu Sanhita Purva Khand. In the complete section of Vayu Sanhita, we find questions and answers between Sudji, sages and Brahma or the Supreme Person. Responding to the sages, Brahma refers to Rudra as the Supreme Person. Besides, we also get to see the hymns and sources of Ardhanarishvara and the story of the killing of Shumbh Nishumbha by Ma Durga in this section of Vayu Sanhita. Shiva Purana Chapter 7 Vayu Sanhita Uttarakhand. In this section of the Vayu Sanhita, Vayudev answers the questions of Sudji and other sages. In Shiva Purana Part 7 Vayu Sanhita Uttarakhand, Upmanyu Dwara Shri Krishna gets a description of the Pashupat weapon. Herein, there is also a description of the omnipresence of Mother Shiva's Uma Brahma form. Information related to Shiva's fasting, offerings, and Havan Yajna are also seen in this section of Shiva Purana.